Krishna Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Welcome again to story time. Now the stories we are going to tell you are very, very interesting, because all of them you find out that how Krishna is the supreme Lord of the universe, playing as a little child to give love and to receive the love of everyone. One looks like a prank, but there was a great, great message and lots of love of Krishna and the Gopis. All the young Gopis of Vrindavan, they would do prayers to Mother Katyayani, Devi Ma, so that they could get very, very good husbands who would love them, would be noble, would be kind, would be good, would be successful. They used to pray for good husbands. So these Gopis, they used to fast, they used to do prayers, and they had to go and take a bath in the river. But when we are taking bath in rivers, in open places, we must not remove all our clothes. But the Gopis were amongst themselves, so they removed all their clothes and went into the water. When the fast, when the worship is not done properly, then rather than it giving you the desired results, it gives you something else only. So, to bless them, to correct them, Krishna played a prank. It looks like a prank though. While the Gopis had left all their clothes on the river banks, and it could get carried away in the wind, somebody could take it away. So Krishna very cleverly took away all the clothes of the Gopis and went up to the tree and hung all the clothes on the tree, making the tree so colorful with the clothes of the Gopis. While the Gopis were in the water, bathing, playing, singing, and praying also. So while they were doing all this in the water and laughing away at certain times, did not know that their clothes had been taken away. And while they were playing in the water, after their prayers, they heard the sound of Krishna's flute. They smiled to each other, and each of them were praying that they wanted to worship Krishna. They wanted Krishna as their husband. All these Gopis wanted Krishna as their husband, because who can be better than Krishna? They were all praying for Krishna to be their husband, and Krishna, knowing what is there in their heart, he played his flute. And when Krishna played the flute, the hearts of the Gopis would be full with so much love. And they immediately tried to look out and find where is Krishna. And in the valley, when Krishna is playing the flute, his sound was everywhere. And that way, Krishna is also everywhere. So the Gopis looked out for Krishna, and when they looked on the banks to find their clothes were not there. And when they looked on the tree, there is Krishna sitting, playing his flute, and all the clothes are dangling from the branches, and they are in the waters. They looked at Krishna and said, "Oh Krishna, why are you carrying our clothes and hanging it on the trees?" Krishna continued to play his flute. They said, "Oh Krishna, please give us our clothes. How can we come out from the water?" "Oh Krishna, now don't tease us. Don't be naughty. If you do something like this, we will go and report it to our king, that is Nanda Baba, your father. You shouldn't be doing this like this." But Krishna knew their heart, and he told the gopis, "You are all praying to have me as your husband. I know what is in your heart." Secretly, as he told each of the gopis, "I know what is in your heart. And you are doing something wrong by having bath in the river without any clothes. So, come and take your clothes from here." They said, "Krishna, don't do that to us. How will we come out?" He says, "You're not ashamed when all the trees, the birds, the fishes, and even the Devata of the water, you are amongst that, and you are not ashamed of that, and you are ashamed of the Lord of the universe?" They said, "But Krishna, please give." He said, "If you want your clothes, you come and take your clothes." Those gopis, "Oh Krishna, oh please Krishna." He says, "You come and take your clothes if you want your clothes. They are lying here. I am not stopping you. You can take your clothes." And he started playing the flute. The gopis did not know what to do, but they understood what Krishna was teaching them. So one by one, they came, they bowed down to Krishna, and they took their clothes. Clothes are not only what we wear on our body, but our body also is a cloth that we wear on ourselves, the Atma, the spirit. We wear this body and we are so clinging to this body, everything about this body, that we forget that who lies in our hearts knows everything about us, even our good and our bad thoughts. We must offer our good thoughts to Krishna, but also our negative thoughts, we should not hold them. Bad thoughts also not hold them. We know that Krishna knows everything. Our good clothes, our bad clothes. So sometimes we cover ourselves with good thoughts, sometimes with bad thoughts. But in front of the Lord, we should not cover ourselves. We should say, "Oh Lord, here I am. Take away all my bad thoughts. Yeah? And give me all my good thoughts by which I can worship you, I can love you, and I can be myself with you." When the gopis understood this, they went and took the clothes. And Krishna said, "I know what is in your heart and what you are praying for. I will fulfill your wishes. And one day, I will call you and you will all come to me." They were so happy and they went back home to tell everybody that our prayers are going to be fulfilled. That way, Krishna stole the clothes of the gopis. I know when I was a little child, I would say, oh, Krishna did that. But the gopis knew that what Krishna was doing was correcting them from doing anything wrong. And with the Lord, we have to be what we are, because God knows us the way we are. We don't have to hide ourselves from God. We have to be in front of God the way we are and let Him remove what is wrong in us, what is bad in us, what is sinful in us, for which afterwards we have to suffer. By that He takes away things that we cannot do and a feeling that we cannot do, so that we can do great things in our life. Krishna took away the clothes of the gopis, and the gopis understood that Krishna was only correcting them for something that they did wrong, without knowing it, of course, and therefore Krishna blessed them. Now, while they were in the forest, very often when they used to go to the forest, one day, all the gopas, having taken the cows deep into the forest, and after having had the food that they brought from home, and then playing around in the forest, were very tired and they were very, very hungry. And whenever they wanted anything, they would just go up to Krishna. Hey Krishna Krishna, hey Balram, we are very hungry. How do we get food now in this forest? Krishna told them that, hey, in the forest there are many people who are living as ascetics, and they are doing various worships. You go and ask them for some cooked rice, because during the worship there will be so much offering given in the fire, and there will be so much offerings remaining as prasad. Go and tell them that we are from Krishna and Krishna is in the forest. Give us some food so that we can share and we can eat. These Brahmins or priests were so busy doing their sacrifice, doing their worship, that when these boys came and asked them, please give us some food, they did not even look at their boys as though, don't disturb us. They said, Krishna and Balram is with us. They have sent us here. Now they are worshipping the Lord. But when the Lord sends someone to come and take what we have offered, we don't give, we don't share. Finally, they got so irritated that they just said, go away from here. Can't you see we are busy? All the men who were worshipping told like this. These boys came up to Krishna and said, they did not give us the food, even though we asked them. So Krishna said, did you tell them that I have sent you all to them? They said, we said, but they just brushed us off. They said, go away. Krishna said, then don't go to these priests. You go to their wives who are inside their house, busy making food for all the offerings and for their husbands. Don't go and ask their husbands. Go and ask their wives. Ask the mothers there. They went back. They went to the house, knocked at the door, and when the wives of these priests came out, and they said that we have come from Krishna and Balram, please give us some food that you have prepared. They said, you have come from Krishna. While we sit here and our husbands do the worship, while we cook and while we sit around, we keep listening to the stories of Krishna. Krishna has come. We've been wanting to see him. And they gathered all the tasty food. And they themselves ran out of the house, dressed in their beautiful clothes, with all their jewelries. They rushed from their house. At that moment, their children, their husbands said, where are you going? They said, our Krishna is hungry. We are going to feed Krishna. They said, don't go. But they could not get up from their worship. They said, don't go. They tried to stop them. But all of them, they left everything and ran to Krishna with their offerings. And they laid out all that food for Krishna and the Gopas for them to eat. Krishna was so pleased with them. But at the same time, he said that you go back home and do all your duties. And they said that all our duties, all the worship is for you, Krishna. We having heard your glories, we having heard your stories, we know who you are, and now we have come to you. Now, if we go back, our husbands, our sons, they all might complain to us that we went to you. Krishna said, you have come to me with love and devotion. You have come to feed the children. You have come to share. And there is nothing noble than that. When you go back, your husbands will begin to admire you. Your children will look up to you. For you have done something noble, something great. So don't hesitate to go back home. Nobody is going to speak ill about you. And what many of these people do not get from this worship, because they do only worship to get something from God. They offer little to get a lot. Their mind is not to develop love for Krishna. Their mind is only to get heaven and other things. When their mind is on these things, even though they are worshipping the Lord, their mind is not in the Lord, and their prayers are not to develop love for God and to make offerings to the Lord and to give to the people as prasad. And therefore, they did not get the wisdom, they did not get the knowledge, they did not have that in them, that when Krishna is sending his friends to get some food, these people, even though they had heard about Krishna, they were too busy trying to worship God to get what they want, not to offer to God from whom we have received everything. While their wives, the mothers at home, who in midst of doing all their duties like the Gopis, by just listening to the stories of Krishna and how he protected everyone, how he looked after everyone, and how he did such great things, that they knew that Krishna is here to love us, to protect us, and he is the Lord of the universe, for by whom everything is given to us and everything belongs to him. These wives of the Brahmins, they understood by just listening to the stories of Krishna, while the others doing all the chantings and the worship, because their mind was only on getting something for themselves, either power or strength or getting heaven, not to serve the people, not to serve the Lord, but to get pleasures, enjoyment, and wealth, power, as well as heaven for themselves. But what the mothers in the house got was love for Krishna. When they came back home, and then they said that they saw Krishna with their own eyes, and they fed Krishna and all the Gopas, those who were worshipping their husband, they started hating themselves. They said, we had also heard about Krishna. We also heard that he is the Lord of the universe. But when he comes as a little boy, we think that he is just an ordinary boy. What can he give us? But you, in your love, by merely listening to the stories of Krishna, could recognize that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. You are indeed blessed. Their husbands were so happy with them because these wives of theirs brought blessings directly from Krishna to the family. They prayed then to Krishna to bless them, and now they did their worship, and whatever was left from that worship, they shared with everyone as prasad. And they learned this lesson from their wives, who had just pure love, pure devotion, and who understood what is true worship, what is true prayer, and what is love. And therefore, these gopis, the Gopas also, and now also these Brahmins, they knew that if you love Krishna, that is what is to be attained through whatever we do. So all used to sing together, Krishna, 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 Krishna. And Krishna then did something so wonderful, we shall tell you next time. Next story time. Till then, you get up in the morning, Krishna, Krishna. You do all your work, you do Krishna, Krishna. When you pray also, Krishna, Krishna. And when you go to sleep also, Krishna, Krishna. When you get up in the morning and pay your respects to mommy, daddy, say Krishna, Krishna. When you hug them also, Krishna, Krishna. And that way, remember Krishna all the time. And whatever you do, whether you pray, whether you study, whether you play, or when you give and share, or whatever duties you do, in all that, just love Krishna. Everything else, he takes care of. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, Krishna.